Hey gang, Dark Knave and Cram here with our review of this week's episode of Arrow.
And we started right off coming in from last week's episode, which was really just to get us to this episode, the climax of the battle between Nyssa and Malcolm over basically being the Demon's Head.
Yeah, and we also had a second arc with Felicity and her father, who is the Calculator. Really interesting to note that the first scene we see them together is at dinner. He's trying to reconnect with his daughter and basically just drops the bomb on her that, hey, by the way, I'm the Calculator and you're Overwatch, and I know that. That took me totally off guard. I figured they were going to milk that arc for a minute. They wasted no time getting in there and setting that up, so she basically storms off, but she's in a wheelchair. Wheels off? I don't know the vernacular for that, but anyway, she leaves. He's trying to beg her for forgiveness, but she's already out of there.
In the Nyssa and Malcolm story arc, Oliver is doing his best to play both sides to get them to play nice, and so he ends up working with Canary and trying to work with Malcolm and trying to work with Nyssa to work out an agreement. It looks like they're just about able to get there, and of course what happens? Malcolm turns and tries to kill Nyssa so he can still retain the power of the Demon's Head and get the cure for Thea.
Right. Meantime, Calculator doesn't know that Overwatch is as upset as she is. She starts to play him a little bit by acting like, oh, maybe she's turning around after all, and she wants to set up this relationship. She takes him to work, gives him a big tour of the facility, even takes him to the weapons lab where, once again, Curtis's T-Sphere is there. Please put him in the Mr. Terrific costume. You are killing me with this stuff. Later we see Felicity talking to Oliver. Here the whole thing was a trap. She wasn't really taking her dad on a nice little tour. She finds a piece of equipment he's left behind to drain the entire facility of all their data. She gets everything she needs to know what a villain he is, and so later on in her office, she basically tells him she wants nothing to do with him and then turns him over to the authorities. So more to come on that story arc in future episodes.
Nyssa and Malcolm's storyline comes to a climax at the end, where Nyssa and Malcolm are fighting to the death over the Demon's Head because of her challenge. Oliver steps in, as is his right, because he is technically Nyssa's husband, as recognized by the League, and so therefore he is able to fight Malcolm. In the end, he doesn't kill Malcolm, but he does take off his hand, walks away with a ring, gives it to Nyssa. Nyssa, in turn, then brings together the Canary, Oliver, and Malcolm to show that, hey, guess what? Demon's Head, no longer a thing, as she then melts the ring that gives her that power.
She also dismantled the entire League of Assassins earlier that day, so no more League of Assassins, no more Demon's Head, no more Ra's al Ghul. Merlyn does not take too kindly to that and uses that as a springboard to continue his little vendetta against Oliver by revealing to, hey, Damien Dark, remember that guy, the main storyline? Yeah, he finally shows up, meets with Merlyn, and Merlyn turns over the name of Oliver's son to Damien, and that's how the episode ends.
All in all, really great episode. Lots of good action, lots of climax. You have the League going after each other on both sides for both Nyssa and Malcolm. You see a little, feeling out, as far as with the Calculator and Felicity trying to understand, and her mom comes in and tells her, look, this guy's not going to change. And we find out that that's really the truth. What I really liked when it came to the Malcolm storyline was that Malcolm stayed true to character, and we find out that it really was not about Thea. His actions with Damien Dark at the end prove that it really was about the power of the Demon's Head and not trying to save Thea's life.
Exactly. And now that we're back to Damien Dark, hey guys, this is the main story arc. Let's get this going. Let's see where this plays through to its inevitable conclusion. It would be nice to get some traction on the main story because it feels like we've had a couple episodes there without it. That's going to do it for our review of Arrow this week. Main story arc looks like it's going to pick back up again. I'm not a huge fan of when a main story arc pauses to get little storylines in between, but maybe you are. Let us know what you think.
Now that the main story arc is back, who do you think is in the grave? And who do you think they're going to be going after? Damien Dark or Malcolm, or is it somebody else? Let us know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching.